Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, CEO of academia.edu, and today we're taking a bit of a metaphysical detour with Nicolae Zărnescu's fascinating work, Passport for the World Beyond. Remember, as always, I'm coming at this completely neutrally. I'm not endorsing the arguments or conclusions of the paper, just presenting them for you to think about, okay? So, let's dive in. The core question Zărnescu asks is one that I think, honestly, just about all of us have contemplated at some point. What happens after we die? Is there a life beyond the physical world we know? And if so, what's our passport, our ticket to understanding or even navigating that experience? I mean, these are ancient questions and, I'll admit, kind of intimidating ones. So why is this question even important, right? Well, it kind of slices to the bones of how we live our lives. If there's something beyond what we experience physically, maybe our day-to-day decisions, our values, even how we deal with things like grief or hope, that could all shift, couldn't it? But more than that, Zărnescu actually broadens the discussion. He brings together religion, science, energy, consciousness, all of these elements, and asks if they play a role in this world beyond. So, big stuff. Now, how does he approach this? Well, the methodology, if you can call it that in this sort of hybrid philosophical essay style, is really a synthesis of ideas. He brings in spiritual traditions, myths, quotes from various religious and philosophical figures, and even references modern science. Yeah, even quantum physics pops up here, to argue that reality isn't as cut and dried as we might think. What are the big takeaways, the insights? First off, Zărnescu argues that consciousness and the universe are deeply interconnected. Our physical senses, in his view, show only a sliver of reality. There are spiritual worlds or planes that coexist invisibly with ours, accessible, he claims, through spiritual practice, meditation, or at the moment of, death. Another point he makes is the importance of vibrations and energy. According to him, all that we are, our thoughts, feelings, physical matter, are forms of vibration. And there's the idea of the supreme force, which he associates with divinity, sort of orchestrating both the physical and spiritual worlds. He's careful not to put any one religion on a pedestal. He says every spiritual tradition is a different lens for viewing the same ultimate reality, kind of universalist, right? And karma, whoa, this is a huge theme. Zărnescu says every action, thought, intention basically shapes our destiny in this life and future existences, not just individually, but even collectively, as societies or, as humankind. So our passport to the next world is sort of stamped by our inner growth, our ethical choices, and our willingness to evolve. Radical stuff, but, not totally unfamiliar if you've ever dipped a toe into, say, Buddhism or even contemporary self-help. He also dives into topics like near-death experiences, how some people claim glimpses of what's next and report common patterns, tunnels of light, a sense of expanded awareness, encounters with spiritual beings. Zărnescu connects these not to any one faith, but to this broader principle that reality is multi-layered. Life doesn't just end, in his view, it transitions. Neutral, remember, just presenting it. Oh, and here's a digression for you, totally random, but have you noticed how every major world religion seems to have some concept of an afterlife, even if the details are wildly different? Like, why do humans across history and geography invent these elaborate systems for what's next? Maybe it's hope, maybe it's fear, or maybe, I don't know, maybe we're all just narrative obsessed, back on track. So, what does this mean for you as a listener? Look, whether you take these ideas literally, metaphorically, or as a kind of poetic way of thinking about life's mysteries, Zărnescu's paper is offering a chance to expand your framework. It challenges you to consider, what if our actions matter beyond the immediate? What if there's more to reality than meets the eye, even if you flat out don't buy the metaphysics? Reflecting on these questions can motivate you to live more consciously, maybe with more kindness, or just a sense of wonder. To wrap up, again, I'm just presenting the arguments, not signing off on them, academic research. Especially on things like spirituality or the afterlife, it's not the final word, it's like a doorway or, a passport to new ways of thinking. Use it however you see fit, skeptically, playfully, or just as a curiosity. Thanks for tuning in to In Depth with Academia, Let me know what you think, what questions you'd want to ask Zărnescu if you could, or just what you think happens when we die. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and yeah, keep it friendly. See ya.